Before I take any questions, I want to congratulate Toronto. They're a fantastic basketball team, great defensively, share the ball, play a beautiful style, a lot of great two-way players, and a lot of veteran players who have been in this league contributing for a long time. And so I'm very happy for them. Winning a championship is the ultimate in this league, and they've got a lot of guys who have earned this. So congrats to Toronto, to their organization, to their fans. They are a worthy champion. Let me say a couple words about our team. It's actually it's hard to put into words how I feel about our team. What I've witnessed as their coach over the last 5 years it is just an incredible combination of talent and character and commitment to each other. This just doesn't happen. It just a group of guys like this don't come around together and do what they did over the last 5 years. And I've been lucky enough to be their coach. That's what I told them in the locker room. I can't tell you my gratitude in terms of just being put in this position, to be with this group and to coach them and to help them. But I could not be any luckier as a coach, to be with these guys every day and to watch them compete. And boy, do they compete. I think they showed that in this series and throughout the playoffs. So with that, I will take some questions.
Anthony, on your right.
Anthony Slater with The Athletic. I know it's obviously so fresh now, but how much do you think, a couple of years from now, you'll look back at this season with the what ifs on the injuries with Kevin and obviously what happened to Clay tonight?
Yeah, I mean, more than the what ifs is just feeling bad for the players involved. Injuries are always part of the NBA season, any professional sport. Injuries play a huge role, and it's just the nature of these injuries, the severity of these injuries, and we'll know more about Clay, but we can sit here and say, well, if this hadn't happened or that hadn't happened, that doesn't matter. What matters is, Kevin Durant is going to miss next season with an Achilles tear, and Clay suffered a knee injury, and we'll know, as I said, we'll know more before too long. But it's just brutal. It's just brutal what these guys have had to deal with and what they're dealing with right now. And so that's my initial feeling.
Tim, over here on this side.
Welcome, The Athletic. Steve, just what is going through your mind when you see Clay go down and obviously in pain, and you already have Kevin out, you have Kawhi, wearing an ice pack and a harness practically when he's not playing. As a coach, does it dawn on you that what is happening here, and what are your players saying? What's the emotion through all this?
It's amazement that we're sitting in this position, during the game, we have a chance to win the game, force a Game 7, go back to Toronto, and you just think, how has this group of guys put themselves in position to do it? And then, as I said, when Clay goes down and is out for the game, it's just, sort of you got to be kidding me. Like, this has to stop. But it's just the way it's gone. I don't know if it's related to 5 straight seasons of playing 100-plus games and just all the wear and tear, but it's devastating.
When Clay came off, it looked like he was not going to come back, and then came back down the tunnel. Did you think he might be able to play again, or was it just strictly to shoot the free throws?
Well, I think what happened was he wasn't aware of the rule that, if you don't shoot the free throws, you can't come back in the game. So I think somebody told him in the hallway. Clay being Clay, he just turned right around and came back and shot the free throws. And, we committed the automatic foul to get him out of the game. And he came back and he told me just 2 minutes. I think there was, 2 minutes left in the third. He said, just a 2-minute rest, I'll be ready. And next thing I heard was he was done for the night from Drew Yoder, our trainer.
We're in the aisle.
Coach, Sandeep Chanak with Yahoo Sports. Before Clay got hurt, 30 points. He was rolling, and big if here. But if he doesn't go down, how do you think the game plays out?
Doesn't matter. He went down.
Mark, right here, two. Couple of rows up.
Steve, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. You talked about the commitment that these guys have to one another. How did that commitment get you past Clay's injury to Steph having an open look for a game-winning shot potentially?
Well, they're a gifted, competitive group, and even without the injured players, even without Clay, even without KD, you look out on the floor, you still got a lot of great basketball players. Andre had a huge night for us. We had to have that. Somebody had to come in and score for us tonight, and Andre did that. Draymond was fighting like crazy all night. Looney with, a fractured chest cartilage, fighting and fighting and fighting. And I thought DeMarcus came in, gave us good minutes. So we just kept going, and I think our guys relied on their experience of being in this moment. They don't get nervous. I think they just keep playing, and we had a chance. So they fought and gave it every opportunity.
When Steph took the shot, what went through your mind?
I just thought it was in. I always think every shot Steph takes is going in. So, but they don't all go in. So, but what a warrior, no pun intended. Steph was getting hounded this entire series. Toronto did a great job on him, sending 2-3 people at him, hounding him and harassing him, and especially without Clay to rely on in that fourth quarter. I thought he got a little worn down.
Mark, last question here. We have Draymond now coming up next.
It's Steve, Mark, Medina Barry, and News Group. When you look at DeMarcus and the journey he took with overcoming the different injuries and how he fit in with his team, where would you put this season in context for him?
I was really pleased with the way DeMarcus performed the last couple games. He came in and gave us huge minutes and gave it everything he had, committed himself to the team, and came off the bench and kept us going when we needed him. So, tough season for him in terms of coming off the injury and then getting injured again in the playoffs. So it was not easy for him, but I think he contributed, and I think he learned a lot, and I think our guys really enjoyed being around him. I know I did, and he helped us. He helped us win a lot of games.
Thank you, Coach. Draymond will be right up. All right, we'll take questions for Draymond. Over there in the middle, Robert, on 3. Come one row up. Low.
Draymond, Robert Littell, BSO. What does this say about this team, the fact that you guys went through all of this and still was able to get it to a Game 6? How do you feel about your teammates, about the team, the 5-year journey, and just kind of encapsulating all of that into, what's happening right now?
Feel great, to go to war with those guys every single night. Through everything we went through this year. You look at some of the stuff that's going on, and it's like, oh, that was 2 years ago. No, that was like 5 months ago, 7 months ago, 2 months ago. Like, everything this team has been through, I'm extremely proud of the guys. The way we fought, it's great. But, we lost. There's no moral victories. Congratulations to Toronto. They played a great series, and they deserve to win.
Nick, back here on the left.
Draymond, Nick Friedel, ESPN. Just following up on that, how much solace are you guys able to take now and maybe in the months ahead at the way in which you fought in these last few games, as shorthanded as you were with KD and Clay and everybody battling injuries?
I mean, obviously you feel good about it, but it's no shocker to us. We know what this team has been made of all along. I've said it over and over again. The pretty offense will always be the storyline, but this team, ton of heart. Everybody who step on that floor display a ton of heart. So, it's no shocker to us that we continue to fight. But like I said, we came up a little short. That's just it.
Third row in the center, CJ.
CJ Peterson, San Francisco Examiner. Draymond, Steve said earlier that, just considering all the injuries you guys faced, he was, shocked you guys were in this position, able to, you guys' wherewithal and be able to come back and do all this. Considering all that, do you guys think you guys maybe left some opportunities out there, like 8 missed free throws? Obviously, the shot at the end of the game where Steph didn't hit it. Do you guys think you guys maybe left some stuff out there tonight?
I think every game you leave something out there. I don't think anyone leaves any game and feel like you did everything you could have possibly done to the T. That's just a part of what, the game that we play. Obviously, the missed free throws, they usually come back and bite you. And they probably did, but there were several things that went on throughout the course of this game, which is why we lost. So, I think I can look at every loss in my career and every win and nitpick. End of the day, we lost, so it's all that matters.
Next seat over.
Yeah, Draymond, Jeff Ferrato, Bay Area News Group. Can you talk about Klay Thompson's performance, what you saw when he went down, and just how much it hurt you guys to not have him the rest of the game?
Oh, I mean, well, without Klay, it's tough. It takes some shooting off the floor, so spacing is not quite there. Obviously one of our best defenders, and probably the guy that got the most heart on his team. It's not really the most popular opinion, but, as a guy who's been with Klay for 7 years, I don't know many people with as much heart as Klay. So, the way he was playing, as aggressive as he was, he was carrying us. And, when he went down, obviously, we lose a lot. But
When he came back out of the tunnel, did you know it was just to shoot the free throws, or did you think Klay's coming back, he's going to play some more?
Oh, I knew it was just to shoot the free throws. But also with Klay, if they would have let him stay out there, he would have stayed. That's just who he is. You see, he try to run back down the floor. Like, what are you doing? But that's Klay. How many people is going to play with a hamstring injury? No one. Like, no one does that. So that's just who he is, man. That guy is he's a warrior. And obviously that's, no pun intended with that, but it's no other way to describe him. He's going to give everything he got every time he step on the floor. And even some things that he don't have, which is health. He was going to try to give it more. That's just who he is. That's why we love him.
Steve on the right side, fourth row.
Steve Ashburn, NBA.com. There's been an end-of-the-run air to a lot of the coverage and discussion even tonight. But some version of you guys is going to show up in the fall and step back out on the court. Will you be dragging an accumulation of wear and tear? What do you expect is next for your group?
Yeah, I think everybody thinks it's kind of end of us. That's just not smart. We're not done yet. We lost this year. Clearly just wasn't our year. But it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But yeah, I hear a lot of that noise. It's the end of a run and all that jazz. I don't see it happening, though. We'll be back.
Final two questions in the front and then in the back here.
Draymond Tristacrick, USA Today. Just to go back on Klay, I don't know. I'd just be curious to know if you know this. Did you know he was doing jumping jacks in the tunnel and trying to run back and forth?
No, I didn't, but it does not shock me one bit. Clay he's crazy, to say the least. He loved to play basketball, and no matter what he's got, he's going to try to be out there on the floor. So it's not shocking at all. And I'm sure he tried to get back out there on the floor, and they just would not let him. And so, it sucks. Obviously, we're praying that everything is okay. But that's a tough one.
Last question, back right.
Hey, Draymond, Rick Tittle with 95.7 The Game and Sports Byline. Knowing that if you got another T, you were going to miss potential Game 7, did you adjust your game at all? Was it on your mind, or did you just play the same you always do?
No, it wasn't on my mind. I'm not an idiot. I know that I can't get another T, so I'm not really going to flirt that line. I think, if you look at, this entire year, there was a lot of noise about players and officiating and the back and forth, and I think over the course of the last 8 to 10 weeks, that all has been cleaned up. From both sides. Officials, I think, were a lot better in communicating with us, and I think players, in turn, showed the same respect to those guys. So, I had some conversations with officials today, but that's allowed. I think there's kind of this narrative of we don't work together. We all work together to put a great product out there on the floor and represent this league the way we all want it to be represented, as we all are part of the makeup of this league. So, I had conversations with officials, but yeah, I'm far from dumb as people think I am. I know I control myself a tad, just a little bit.
Thank you, Draymond.
Appreciate all y'all this year. It's been great. Y'all have done a great job of helping grow this game, so thanks to everything y'all do, for everything y'all do.
Thank you.
Had a lot of bottles of champagne in there.
First question in the middle on 4.
Coach, congratulations. Ryan Leong, Associated Press Broadcasting. There was so much that happened between last year's offseason and where you're sitting at right now at this podium. Can you just talk about what it means to have gone through all that, becoming a first-year head coach, and after all the changes in the offseason, getting Kawhi Leonard, culminating in the city and the first championship for Toronto?
I mean, yeah, it was a heck of a 12 months, and I don't know. I just try to take things as they come. You didn't look too far ahead. Obviously, when we made some additions to the team, we thought we could be good, but we had no idea what the health status was and all those things. And again, you just got to go take the guys you got and go play and manage it the best you can. And then look at the opponents and try to figure out a way to beat them. And it was a great group, though. They really played together. I thought they really fought hard. They were tough-minded. They didn't seem like this was wearing on them at all. 2 months of playoff basketball. They never seemed tired to me mentally. They kept wanting the film sessions. They kept wanting to walk through things. They kept wanting to keep learning and improving, and I think that was a big key because we had to do that in the playoff run because we really hadn't had all that much time together.
Steve on the right side on the 4th row.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Nick, every Eastern Conference team that began the season aspiring to get to the finals knew there was a good chance that they would run into the Golden State Warriors. How much does it add to what you guys have accomplished that you beat a team that will be considered one of the greatest in league history?
Well, I mean, first of all, you're right. I think you thought get through the East and the chances were you were going to be playing Golden State. I mean, I probably stayed up late and watched Golden State more than anybody just for the heck of it, right? Just to see what they were doing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It means a lot for our city and the country and for these players, staff. An incredible group of people, my assistant coaches and the support staff. And I don't know if it would have meant any more or any less, to be honest with you. You get the win and you're just happy you got it and celebrate that fact.
As you The attrition in their team, the injuries, and the fact that they were still in it right up to Steph's shot at the end. I mean, does it add to the respect that people in the league would have for a team like that?
100%. That was hard on them, right? I think they had a rough year injury wise, and they kept playing. They got through some playoff rounds, and guys in and out, and obviously a lot of things, a lot of bad breaks in the finals, to be honest. And like us, they kept on playing. We just had to keep on playing no matter who was out there, and I think they were super intense, high level games, and both teams desperately trying to win. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Kerr and his staff and their players for sure.
Tim, last row in the back.
Nick, Tim Reynolds with the AP. Congratulations, of course. I know you are your least favorite topic, so I'm probably going to regret asking this question, but what do you think your story says as far as a guy who played mid-major, a guy who had to go to Britain, a guy that had to win a couple titles in the G League before you got that phone call to come talk about offense and the story you were telling earlier, yesterday or today or something? They all blend in now. What do you think your story is going to mean to the coach who doesn't think he's ever going to get the shot?
Well, I would hope it inspires some people that are in those situations to keep working. I always say that all those jobs meant the world to me at the time, right? Winning with Birmingham in '96, or winning with Rio Grande Valley, whatever year that was, and those games and jobs meant the world to me, and I loved all those jobs. And I think you can't do very good work if you don't love what you're doing. And I don't know, and I never really got discouraged. I didn't really care at the level I was coaching at. I was just trying to learn and get better. That's it.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
First question towards the back.
Kawhi, Paul and Tony. First got traded to Toronto. What went through your mind? Was it one of your preferred destinations? And how did your feelings evolve or change during this run, and how do you feel now?
I mean, we all know where my destinations were. But obviously, like I said, when I was there on my opening day meeting, that, I was focused on the now. And, I wanted to make history here. And that's all I did. I just, I'm still playing basketball no matter what jersey I have on. And the guys here been, making runs in the playoffs before I came. So I know they're a talented team, and, I just came in with the right mindset. Let's go out and win ball games. I text Kyle probably a day later or the day that I got traded and told him, let's go out and do something special. I know your best friend left. I know you're mad, but, let's make this thing work out. And we're here today.
Mark here in the third row.
Kawhi, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Wondering what went through your mind when Steph Curry had that look, and whether you thought that the game could be in their hands at that moment, and also your thoughts on when Klay Thompson went down with that injury.
Well, first I'll start with Klay. I hope he's okay. I never want to see a good friend of mine go out like that. I hope he's able to, recover from it, or, nothing's serious. And I just, when he went down, I just really thought about him. I didn't care about the game that much. And, once he left, we got to flip our mindset back to trying to beat the Warriors. So that's what I did. And with the shot with Steph, It didn't look like it was a good shot. I mean, he hits those shots, but I wasn't too worried about it at that moment. Obviously, he can make that. He made it millions of times, but I just was focused on the rebound. I've been in situations like that in the finals that I lost up 2 or 3 points, and we lost that game because of rebounds. I forgot who shot the ball. I mean, you guys know the story. It was the last 2 possessions for Miami. They got 2 chances to shoot threes. Well, 4 chances at the basket out of 2 possessions. And that was my focus. I was just trying to get the rebound. And once he missed the ball, I tried to keep tipping it so some more time could run out. Didn't want to grab it right away so they could foul me. And Draymond ended up with it with 0.9 seconds and called a timeout and kept moving from there.
Reed in the back.
Kawhi, Reed Forgrave with CBS Sports, straight ahead. You've been through this roller coaster of a couple years, and now you're sitting with the Finals trophy, the MVP trophy next to you again. And I'm curious how these couple years have changed you as a man and changed the way you look at faith and kind of your priorities in life.
Well, just the year last year, a lot of people were doubting me. Thought I was either faking an injury or didn't want to play for a team. And that was disappointing to me that was out in the media, because I love the game of basketball. Like I always say, if we're not playing this game, if we're hurt, I mean, you're down. So me just, going through that, and, I just knew that I have to make myself happy and no one else. And I have to trust myself. And it doesn't matter what anybody has to say about me. I know who I am as a person. I know how I feel. And always just trust yourself. And that was my goal and my focus. And, that's one of the things that, I take on the floor. I don't care about what media has to say about me, or if they want me to score whatever, 30 points, because I did the game before. I'm going to come out and play the right way. I'm not trying to make headlines. And, that's just things that, I pretty much learned just throughout this journey of being in the NBA. So, I mean, that's how I just keep growing up as a man, and that's why I say I just think about my past life and try to learn from situations and be wise and learn from others.
Last 2 questions standing on the left side.
Kawhi, Dan Wicke with the Los Angeles Times. Along those lines, you since media day, you've said, I just want to play basketball. I'm curious what it was like emotionally to hear that final horn, to know that a year after you had basketball sort of taken away from you, that you were able to be on stage with an MVP trophy, to be in a locker room. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. Like I said, last summer was tough. I was still rehabbing, and just trusted the process really with myself, and told myself I'll be back. I wasn't gonna come back until I could be the player I am today. I wanted to come back in the same shape and form without, coming out playing 5 games and then re-injuring something. I wanted to be able to play the season, or what I did this year. I wasn't able to play 82, but I'm happy that I got to the 60 games. But just be able to win this championship this year is just something special for me, because how the last year everybody was looking at me, and I stayed true to myself, and I had a great support system. And once I got here to Toronto, they understood everything, and the move kept moving from there.
Last question standing in the back.
Martinzi Johnson, the undefeated. You're obviously known as someone known for their defense. How special was it to receive the MVP award from Bill Russell?
It was very special. Obviously, I didn't come out in this series trying to win it. It was a whole group collectively. Tonight, Fred played amazing in that fourth. Kyle played amazing tonight throughout the whole game. Pascal played big. And, I just kept striving and, pushing. And, I ended up with the trophy, but everybody deserves it.
Thank you, Kawhi. Thank you. Robert, first question. Go ahead.
Robert Littell, BSO. When Draymond was in here, Steph, he said that he felt like a lot of people looked at this like an ending to you guys' run, but that would be a mistake on their part. Can you talk about the resiliency of your team, and if indeed you had that feeling as well, and should people not put you guys in the grave right now?
I mean, tough way to go out. You obviously credit Toronto on a great series. They went out and won it. They played amazing tonight, all across the board. They had contributions, and yeah, it's a tough feeling, being on this side of losing in the finals. But I think a lot has been, proven about who we are as a team and the fight that we have and all the adversity that we dealt with, and this entire playoff run, and it's a one-possession game to keep our season alive tonight. So we'll be thinking about this one. It's tough, but our DNA and who we are, and the character that we have on this team, I wouldn't bet against us. Being back on the stage, next year and going forward. So really proud of the way that we fought to the end. And this 5-year run's been awesome, but definitely don't think it's over.
Next question right here.
Julianne Herrera, ABC 7 News. Despite the loss, can you just talk about all the emotions you're feeling that this is the last game at Oracle? I mean, for these fans, this is their Roracle. They love this place. And what are you feeling now that this is really over?
I mean, a lot of different emotions, a lot of thoughts. No regrets at all about, again, what we've been able to accomplish and even how this series ended. So we've had a lot of great memories in this building. I think it's iconic in the sense of our entire history of this organization and how we got to this point. And, whenever I drive by it, I'll have great memories of, again, what we've been able to accomplish in this building. And as we move across the bridge, want to be able to continue that and create new memories. So hopefully, every fan that was in this building appreciates the journey and the ride. Every fan that was watching how Oakland held us down for 47 years, and turn the page to bigger and better things coming for this franchise.
Fourth row on your right, Steph.
Steph, Mike Gannon, Toronto Sun. You saw a lot of Fred VanVleet in this series. What do you know about him now that you didn't know before?
I mean, he's a gamer. He hit some big shots, not just the defensive pressure. He hit a lot of daggers that never seemed to panic when the ball was in his hands. And even tonight, he hit like 3 of them that kept their momentum on their side. So I obviously saw a lot of bodies on defense, but he was one that took the challenge, and obviously he's a champion now, so well deserved.
Next row back on the right.
Steph, comparing the way you lose 3 years ago in the finals with almost got shut down at the very last second in the Game 7 to this finals, with so many injuries, so many people got down. So which one is more painful for you guys?
I mean, losing hurts no matter what the situation is. Nobody likes that feeling, whether it's a Game 7 or Game 6 or what have you. But, I'll echo what Draymond said. It's kind of how do you respond and what do you, how hard do you work to try to get back to the stage. soak up this feeling, because obviously we celebrated, we've had champagne, we've had rings, but this is the more motivating feeling in terms of how do you respond, how do you turn the page to new challenges ahead. So we'll be all right.
Mark, Janie, and then Howard, last three.
Steph, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. First, can you explain how you felt watching Clay go down? And secondly, how much did you have left at the end when you had that look to possibly put your team ahead and go on to Game 7?
It's just tough in terms of a guy like Clay that left it all out there. He was playing amazing tonight. And to see a freak play like that where, he lands awkwardly, I don't know the diagnosis yet, but you think about the person and the guy and how much he loves to play the game, and that's the only thoughts you have. It's really not about, what it means in terms of playing basketball. It's just I'm more concerned about him as an individual and hoping that he's all right. So I kind of, leave it at that. But the shot was one I take 10 out of 10 times. And, we ran a play that was kind of – we got a decent look off of, kind of a bobble catch. And, could see the rim, so I shot it. I'll live with that. We always talk about that, myself and Clay, in terms of shots that we take. You live with it. And, I'd shoot that shot every day of the week.
Janie, back center.
Steph, Janie McCauley from Associated Press. You've said so many times this season, how difficult it is to win it all, and how you guys need to cherish every moment together while this team is together. Do the events of the last couple days where Kevin has surgery and Clay goes down just show you how many things have to go right for a championship? I mean, and how things sometimes don't work out.
For sure. I mean, in the history of this NBA, you could highlight every team that was supposed to win or had the best team and all the different storylines. And, 82 games in a full playoff run, a lot can happen. And it's just a matter of how much you fight and just leave it all out there on the floor. I think the way that we have talked and described this journey and whatnot, I don't think there's ever been a situation where we've taken anything for granted. And that's something I can look back and just we all can hold our head high that, we gave it everything we got. To your point about, two guys who would go down and the game's kind of taken away from them in those moments, it's not a good feeling at all. And it's kind of a helpless feeling in terms of, two freak plays that, send these guys back to the locker room. So it's tough, but it's part of basketball. It's part of the game. Again, I just, hope their recoveries are strong and they come back, better than they were before.
Howard, last question here on the left side.
Howard Beck from Bleacher Report. Steph, when you think about the toll a 5-year run can take, all the extra games, you think about some key free agencies, the injuries. Sean has talked about possibly retiring. Does this feel like, if not necessarily the end, then kind of a major transition point for who you guys have been? You expect serious change potentially coming forward?
I mean, I'm not sure. There's a lot of, obviously, decisions that will go into the summer, and we'll deal with those accordingly. But, yeah, I think true champions like we are, we should be able to adapt and keep the same kind of DNA no matter what our roster looks like next year, and have high hopes about, being back on the stage, whether it looks the same or not, or obviously we're changing buildings and all that type of stuff. There is going to be some change, but we'll enjoy this summer. Like you said, it's been a long journey. We've played a lot of basketball, get away from the game a little bit, refresh the minds. Guys go through some rehabs and get back stronger. Next season will be next season, and we'll come back with the right mentality. So it's kind of hard to talk about because it's a tough way to go out, and it's tough to lose in the finals. But story's not over yet.
Thank you, Steph. take first question here in the second row.
Sí, Marc, felicitats. Com valores això que t'ha passat avui i com valores el fet de que tu també ho tinguis com el teu germà?
Disfrutant moltíssim del que és l'experiència, entenent també el difícil que és doncs, guanyar un anell, tot i les lesions que ells han tingut doncs, demostren que és un equip campió, que té aquesta mentalitat, que sap jugar molt bé, que no deixen estar al partit, tot i doncs, haver perdut un jugador important al partit anterior, haver perdut un altre jugador important en aquest partit. Ells continuen doncs, atacant i tenen molta resiliència i ja et dic, molt feliç, molt content.
Estan com cercle, el Pau Gasol, Anell, germans All-Star,
Ho sento, però no,
Marc Gasol.
ara no estic pensant en tot el que m'estimo jo en Pau, no estic pensant en Pau. O sigui, després el trucaré, està ell a Barcelona, estic segur que està molt feliç per mi. La nostra carrera o la nostra història ja era genial o única, no? Ens sentíem molt afortunats igualment, amo sense l'anell, això no és, jo crec que la conseqüència, no? o el guanyar no sempre valida les coses. Jo crec que és el procés i la manera de ser i el dia a dia que et fa ser d'una manera, però d'alguna manera doncs, quan guanyes doncs, també t'ajuda a relaxar-te també, a disfrutar-ho, i és una miqueta doncs, aquest moment que estem ara doncs, païnt.
Third row on your right.
Kahari Jones, Post Up Jones. Marcus, this is your first championship, and how did your leadership play a part in making that happen, and what does this mean to you?
It means a lot of things. It means the world. I've been floating for the past couple hours. I'm thrilled. So many people deserve this. Even though Golden State had some tough injuries, the last game and this game, they showed you how much heart they have. How much what it means to be a championship team. And they didn't, make any excuses. They kept playing. They kept coming at you every possession, offensively and defensively. So, have very, much respect for those guys and the organization. With that said, I'm very happy that we won. I'm so excited. It's just special feeling. We have a special group of guys that are so carefree. They help one another, especially through the tough times when we could have pointed fingers at one another and blame each other. We didn't do that. We just held on to our brothers, and I just have so many people to thank that we'll be here for a couple hours. So I want to thank everybody.
Have you spoken with Paul Gasol yet?
No, I haven't spoken to Paul. I only spoke to my wife, and that was good enough.
Next row back, Mike, on the right.
Mike Ganter from the Toronto Sun over here. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Since that day that you arrived with this team in New York, a lot has happened, obviously. Was there a moment, though, that you got the feeling that you could get to this level, that you could be part of this?
Oh, as soon as the trade happened. As soon as the trade happened, you saw the possibility. You just, read the roster. It was pretty simple. You can make, excuses and say like, oh, it'll take some time. But at the same time, we all invested and we all thought, let's help one another. Let's be the championship team that we can be. That doesn't mean that you can accomplish it, but the mindset was there, and the will was there, and the coaching staff was there too, and they pushed us every step of the way. Then everyone that surrounds the team, it's first class. It's just not an organization that that takes shortcuts in any way, and that doesn't guarantee you that you're going to win, but it helps. It for sure does help, and I thought that everyone is just so positive throughout the way. Even though when we were down 2-0 against Milwaukee, guys, okay, let's get better, let's execute, let's help one another, let's do this, let's do that, and nobody was blaming and kind of taking the shortcuts and kind of being negative.
Last two questions, Davide, and then over here in the center.
Mark, Davide Chinellato, Gazzetta dello Sport Italy. Two questions. First one, what makes this team special? You almost answered, but you arrived in February. What kind of team you found back then when you arrived, and how did you guys grow till becoming the NBA champions?
Just look at the roster.
Yeah.
Just look at the roster of that team. You go, you look at the depth of them. Then you look at the bench. You look at the young players that they have. You see the coaching staff, their mindset. You look at the front office, their mindset they have. And it goes from top to bottom. Ownership, the trainers, physical therapists, chefs, everything. It's a top-class organization. They're all about winning, and doesn't like I was telling your colleague, it doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but it does help that everyone has that, the championship mentality, and I'm so happy that they got it, because everyone in Toronto and Canada deserves this, because they fought for it. I'm sure the Jurassic Park is going a little crazy right now. I just hope everybody's okay. But I'm sure there's a lot of people very happy because we've shown a lot of resilience and togetherness.
Second part of my question is about Sergio Scariolo. How much did he help you becoming part of this team?
Tremendously. He helped me tremendously understand, the schemes offensively. He was in charge of a lot of the offense. Defensively, he's always someone that I've been through a lot of battles with, and Sergio was great. And I'm happy that we got to live this together, because we started training camp in a month again. So, it's a different challenge now with the World Championship, but I'm going to be soaking in ice for a couple of weeks.
Last question in the fourth row.
Marc, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches. Carlos Ramírez de Telemundo para toda el área de la Bahía. Felicitaciones. Primero que nada, dos preguntas rápidamente. Lo has ganado todo en el mundo del básquet, salvo tal vez el oro olímpico. ¿Qué significa esto para ti comparado con el Eurobásquet, mundiales y todo lo que has hecho en tu carrera?
Mira, la gran diferencia para mí está en que ganar un equipo 4 veces es muy difícil. Tienes que ser el mejor equipo, no tiene que haber ninguna duda. Y en todos los niveles, primera ronda, segunda ronda, tercera ronda, final de conferencia obviamente, y luego la final. Entonces es ser el mejor equipo en todas las eliminatorias y acabar arriba, pues para mí, ya te digo, es lo más difícil, tanto mental como físicamente, que jamás he hecho. Muy feliz de haberlo disfrutado, de haberlo vivido. Y no solo los momentos buenos, sino también los malos. Hay momentos donde es difícil, que te miras al espejo, que estás enfadado, que estás pues dentro de lo que el contexto que es el deporte, pues sufriendo. Y nada, muy contento.
Y por último, ¿qué sientes que representa esto para España, un país que tiene el baloncesto casi tan a la altura como el fútbol, y especialmente,
bueno.
Y especialmente en Barcelona, en Cataluña, donde los que hemos estado de Ministad y sabemos la pasión que siente el catalán por el básquet?
Sí, ojalá estuviéramos, pero no, yo creo que el deporte, el fanatismo que hay en el baloncesto, yo creo que hay que disfrutarlo por lo que es, ¿no? Y yo me siento muy afortunado de representar a tanta gente, tanto ya sea de allá en casa o luego en mi etapa en Memphis después de 10 años y medio. Es una curiosidad que había la mesa de anotadores de esta noche eran de los Grizzlies, eran de Memphis. Y fueron también el partido 3 y 4 y fueron 3 y 4 y hoy. Entonces para mí eso para mí me mandaba señales de confianza, de un poco de sentirte en casa. Y feliz por ganar, porque les veía a ellos y los veía felices también. Entonces es un poco pues esta, ¿no? La culminación de un círculo bonito, de algo muy especial, y contento porque veo a la gente feliz. All right.
Thank you. Pascal Siakam will be up next shortly.
Pascal, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
You all have a lot of international players on your team. How did the diversity of the team and the staff play a part in this championship?
I think it meant a lot, just having guys from different countries and speaking different languages. I think it kind of like got us close together, and you kind of have all those little kind of friendship with guys that you can speak the same language with, and from Spanish to French to English, different cultures, and I think it kind of represents Toronto in general, having that diversity.
Third row over here, Lyle.
Pascal, LP par Radio Mieux, Radio-Canada, est-ce que tu peux me décrire un petit peu tes émotions d'être champion et peut-être un peu aussi tout le parcours que tu as eu pour te rendre jusqu'à être maintenant pour cette casquette sur la tête?
Je sais pas quoi dire. c'est inexplicable. Juste être ici, avoir l'opportunité de jouer et de gagner la NBA Finals, j'ai pas les mots en fait pour exprimer ma joie et c'est juste mon parcours. Tout ce que j'ai fait, avoir l'opportunité d'être là aujourd'hui, à représenter l'Afrique, le Cameroun. Je pense qu'il n'y a rien au-dessus de ça, en fait. Juste avoir ça et pouvoir gagner pour toute une nation, pour tout un continent, c'est vraiment... Je suis top, en fait.
Second row over here.
Pascal, congratulations. Valeria Rubino, V-Sport, Corriere della Sera. Can you tell us what the feeling is of being a champ? Did you realize what just happened?
Yeah, hopefully I can... I kind of like take it in a little bit, minute by minute. I mean, the champagne makes it hard, but it's amazing. It's amazing. Just excited, happy, kind of like seeing. It's hard to just sit down and think about everything, but just the hard work and everything you put in to be able to be here at this level and be able to win, it's a dream. It's a dream, and it feels amazing to be able to realize their dreams.
Davide, again on the left side.
Pascal, Davide Chinellato, Gazzetta Italy. What do you think made this team the best team in the league? What makes you so special, guys?
I think we have, as a team, obviously we have the best player in the league and best player in this playoffs in Kawhi Leonard. But I think together we kind of like have this unit, like a bunch of guys that will go out there and wasn't they weren't top picks or whatever the case might be, but guys that just go out there and work every single day and try to be the best that they can be, and unselfish. It didn't matter, in the beginning of the season, Mark starting or Serge starting, and we had that change and every single time, kind of like everyone kind of sacrificing everything for the team and the greater good. I think that's what makes us so special. Just that we are a team, and that's what makes us dangerous.
Again on the aisle over here.
Pascal, une autre question en français. Nicolas Landry de RDS à Montréal. Quelle est ton appréciation du travail de Nick Nurse cette saison, tout au long de la saison avec vous, à sa première saison comme entraîneur-chef dans la NBA?
Je pense que c'était bien, très bien pour lui d'être un coach sa première année en NBA. Bien sûr qu'il était dans le G-League, mais c'est sa première saison en NBA. Et bien sûr, il avait des choses à apprendre, mais il a continué à travailler dur et nous a donné l'opportunité d'être à ce niveau aussi. Donc, c'est une très bonne saison pour lui. Je pense qu'il va continuer à travailler dur pour pouvoir être le meilleur qu'il peut être. Mais je pense qu'il a fait un très bon boulot.
Robert on the right side.
Robert Littell, BSO. Nick Nurse has always talked about your improvement in your game and just how you expanded it out and everything. Can you talk a little bit about how he's been able to help you as a coach and what he brought to the team in his first year here to get you kind of to this point?
I think, kind of like credit to him, just kind of using the pieces that he had and kind of seeing me being able to do different things on the floor and kind of exploring that and giving me a chance to go out there, not only me, but giving the confidence to guys like Fred and Norm and everyone, kind of like feeling like it's a equal opportunity type of team. Obviously knowing who our best player is, but just continuing to trust each other and having that mindset that at any time anyone can go off and he kind of gave us that freedom. So that's credit to him and he's been able to do a great job with that.
Take final two questions over there and on the third row over here.
Pascal Balantunas, ESPN Brazil. Just if you could touch on your journey in the last 2 weeks, getting to the final, having that wonderful game one where you were 14 from 17 from the floor, everything that just came with the finals. Can you describe that feeling and everything that you went through, please?
Right. For me, it's a lot of ups and downs, man. And I think that's what make the journey so exciting. Just because you're not at your best, you're not the best that you can be. I think for me, as a player, a young player, just going out there every single day, knowing that I'm nowhere near where like how good I can be, and it kind of gives me that opportunity to go out there and learn every single day, make mistakes and have bad games, but just continue to trust my work and everything that I put in to be here at this level, knowing that I deserve to be here at this level, and kind of like working every single day to be the best player that I can be. It's going to have bad games. I'm going to miss shots, a lot of them. But at the same time, I just have to have the confidence to go out there and be myself and play the game that I love. And I think everything will always be okay when I do that.
Last question, third row in the center.
Kawhi Jones, post-up zone. Just speaking back on your journey, like, how do you feel like this will inspire kids in the Basketball Without Borders program?
Oh man, I think it means a lot. It means a lot. I think that's one of the reasons why like I'm here and I have this flag and kind of like representing Cameroon and Africa. I think for me as a kid, I didn't have the opportunity to dream about this moment. Like I didn't think I could make it. I didn't think this was possible as a kid, and I think a lot of kids don't like think that it's possible. And just me being able to be here today and telling them that, hey, like look at me, like I was a lowest crowning kid from Cameroon, Douala, and we just, I couldn't even think about this moment, but here I'm at, as a champion, and I just want to tell them that it's possible, and that if you believe in something, go out there and work hard for it. Might sound cliche, but it's the truth. I'm the proof.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Van Vliet will be next. For Fred here on the third row, the aisle.
Fred, someone asked to ask, is your son the real MVP of this series? Huh?
If that's what you want, man, write whatever story you want. I don't even give a damn. Just unbelievably blessed. Obviously, I take family very seriously and hold it dear to my heart, so it came at a great time. And there's a lot of other things that go into that. I won't bore you with the details, but if that's a story you like, so be it.
Second row over here.
Has it been more about talent, more about the right tactics, more about heart and resiliency? What was the secret of this team? Why you're the best this year?
It's all of those things. You nailed it. There's no one thing. We have a lot of talent. We're a very deep team. You go down this roster, there were guys who didn't even play who are very capable. And we have a lot of talent. And when that talent works hard and goes out there and pays it forward every day, then you have a chance to be special. And then when you're tied in and your coaching staff gives you good game plans and you go out there and try to execute and you work together, the sky's the limit. And we were able to do that over the course of the playoffs.
Front row on your right.
Hey, Trista Crick, USA Today. I'm curious as to your thoughts about the balance. You guys have guys that are obviously undrafted like you, guys from small schools, guys that were from Europe, but also multiple All-Stars on this squad as well. Are you guys a super team or no?
We're NBA champions, so if that makes you a super team, I'll take it. People don't view us that way because it's untraditional. It's not the glam stars. None of our guys, probably other than Kawhi, are in that big boy club or the fanboy club of the NBA. We got guys who had to get it the long way, who had to get it out the mud, who had to get it against the grain, and we got a team full of them coming from all different places, all walks of life, all different life stories to get to this moment. But we got some talent. We got some talent for sure, and at the end of the day, going out there in the playoffs is about performing at a high level, and we were able to do that, over the course of 2 months.
On your right, Steve.
Steve Ashburn, NBA.com. Fred, 5 of the 6 games in this series were won by the road team, and that was done in 2 particularly difficult places to play, arenas. What's the key on this stage to winning games when you are, the traveling party?
I think it allows you to lock in a little bit better. I think it allows you to have that us against the world mentality where the only thing that matters is the guy next to you, and your crowd being anxious and excited doesn't have any effect on you when you're on the road. And it takes a different level of effort, and I think that for us, going on the road, it allowed us to take it up a notch more than what we usually do. You can't rely on the crowd to give you runs or to give you energy. You got to go out there and do it yourself. And, usually winning an NBA championship, you're going to have to win some games on the road, and we were able to do that.
Mike, on your right.
Fred, Mike Gander, Toronto Sun. You spent a lot of time with Steph in this series. First off, did you get a chance to, at the end of it all, to sort of exchange anything with him?
Yeah, just try to pay our respects and shake most of those guys' hands best you can. He was kind of the first guy I was next to. Just obviously, letting them know how much respect and admiration I have for him, and vice versa. And we compete. We really compete together. We compete on this stage, and those guys are super competitors, as are we. So to be able to just in defeat, their guys are very gracious, and they know what it takes to get to this stage. So they were very, congratulatory as well.
And just what was it like when Nick told you he was going to give you that assignment and put that on your shoulders?
Yeah, I just try to own up to it. I try to live up to it. It's a big task. It's a big assignment, and I know what it meant to our team. So did pretty good over the course of the series. He got loose. It felt like he scored 1,000 points on me. As a defender, you never like getting scored on, so that was tough. And, that's obviously the toughest guy I had to guard for that long, every game, all game, 1 million screens. It's hard to push and grab. He's so good at drawing fouls. And so I just try to live up to the challenge and, accept the challenge. And hopefully I gain some respect there and, just try to help my team get wins.
Fourth row over here on the left.
Fred, Nick Nurse made some polarizing calls in this finals. He also put a lot of trust in you. Just wondering, in your opinion, how instrumental was he in the team's success throughout the seasons and in the finals?
No, he's our head coach. And you guys kill head coaches when we lose. Coaches get all the blame, and when we win, players get all the credit. So that's just how it goes. But Nurse has been unbelievable. He's kind of been the captain of the ship, and he's weathered the storms, and he's kept us even keeled, and he's made some, unusual adjustments and experimented things, and some things worked and some things didn't. But he was trying. He tried everything. And you got to give that guy a lot of credit in his first year to win an NBA championship. Also want to give Coach Casey a lot of credit for building this team up to what it was. The guys who were here before, DeMar, JV, DeLon, Jakob, the guys who we built this up to what it was, and then to be able to take it to the next level this year. Give Nurse a lot of credit for steering that ship. Don't ask no damn question back there, man.
Kyle Lowry, Toronto Raptors. Fred, how does it feel to be a world champion?
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable to have guys like Kyle Lowry on your team who step up and go for 15 in the first quarter, but he should have had 50. But, he slowed down, so I just want to come out there in the second half and bail him out and try to help him for his legacy. They kill my man all the time in the playoffs. He gets more slandered than everybody I've ever seen in the league. And so to have him be able to hold that trophy up tonight, that's what means the most for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Next question in the back right.
Kyle, Jonathan Cho with DIA-TV. Beginning of this season, I know that you are still trying to figure out the decisions by your GM, Masai Ujiri, especially trading your close friend DeMar DeRozan. Now that you guys have won the title, where are you at with that? How do you feel now?
When they made the trade, as a friend, and my emotions was there, but I understood that I had to go to work, and I still play for the Toronto Raptors. So I knew that that's my job. My job was to go out there and to be the best basketball player I can be. And how I feel now is we won a championship. It's a great feeling.
Bruce on the left.
Kyle, Bruce Arthur from the Toronto Star.
you've been in this organization for a long time. This has been your goal for a long time. But your whole basketball career, you felt undervalued. You felt like you never found a home until here. And even in your Toronto career, there have been ups and downs. Can you put into words what this means for you, for Kyle Lowry, after everything you've been through kind of your whole life?
Words can't explain how I feel. It's been a long, long time, 13 years of NBA basketball, a couple years of college, a couple years of, high school basketball. And to be able to say I'm a world champion, it makes me feel great. And to do it with the group of guys that we did it with is amazing. It's just, it's kind of still surreal. It hasn't hit me yet. And, I'm still kind of in this moment of just like, is this real yet? And for me, just at the end of the day, I work extremely hard on my game. I work extremely hard on myself, and I am extremely hard on myself. And I'm happy to be able to say I'm a champion, and it's been a long time coming.
In the front row on your right.
Kyle, Trista Crick, USA Today. Fred was sort of joking when he was talking to you about you being one of the most slandered guys in the league. Do you feel that that's sort of the case? Obviously, it doesn't matter now.
People got their own opinions. They're going to say what they want to say. They always have. I hear them, I listen, but they don't affect my life. Everyone has their own opinions. And I go out there and I do my job to the best of my abilities. And people that know, my teammates, the organization, they know what I bring to the table, and they appreciate what I do and what I've done. And I score 0 points. People, blah blah blah. I do this. I don't score. I understand, what people say. I hear them, but if we win a game and we win as a group, and that's all that matters. Winning is all that matters to me, and I'm at the highest level of winning right now.
Michael, over here, fourth row.
Kyle, you had the ball in your hand a couple of times at the end of Game 5, and they ended up forcing a Game 6. Where between those 2 days did you make up your mind that you were going to come out and impose yourself the way you did offensively in the first quarter?
I took what the game was going to give me, but I wanted to be aggressive. I look back at every game we've played and we won. I've shot, double-figure times, and I was more aggressive. And the games, I think besides Game 1, but all the other games that we won, I was more aggressive offensively, makes or misses. But people thought that we would kind of be like, oh man, we gave away Game 5, but the group of guys that we have, we've been able to stay level-headed the whole time, and understanding that we had a team that was going to come out here and play extremely hard. Fans were going to be loud. And they were going to fight to the death, and that's the one thing about that group. They fought to the death, and they got some great guys down there, great coaches, and we tip our hats to those guys because they're the definition of champions.
What did you learn about Kawhi during the last 2 months that you didn't know from the regular season?
How tough. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, he's unbelievably good. He's been showing it all year. It's nothing you can, he's shown us this all year. And, he's in NBA Finals MVP again.
Back right.
Hi. Steve Futterman from CBS News. Congratulations on being an NBA champion.
Thank you.
You talked a bit before about the long NBA career, your college career, high school career. It's a long journey, and length does not necessarily mean you're going to have one of these happy endings. Can you talk about the satisfaction? Because there are many great players that probably don't get to this point. You have achieved this, and the thrill and the beauty of the satisfaction you have of being an NBA champion.
It's kind of crazy, there's a lot of guys that has the same journey and they haven't been able to get to this point, and I'm just so happy to be able to be a part of it and to say I'm an NBA champion. I don't take it for granted at all. I know how hard how hard it's been, how hard it is to get here. I know how hard it takes, and it takes some luck also, and it takes some purified professionals just to go out there and just keep going and working and trying to get it done. And I'm happy to be a part of that fraternity now to say I'm a champion.
And were there some times, I'm guessing you're a human like everyone else, can you talk about, now that you're on the top, Were there some times when you said to yourself, I wonder, should I keep the battle going?
No, I always want to keep working. I love this game. I love this job. I love my life. I just continue to grow, just continue to get better as a man, as a basketball player, as an individual.
Last three, we'll do Eric, Robert, and over here.
Eric Corrine, The Athletic. Kyle, two things. First, I noticed you weren't really in the fray too much in the locker room. What was sort of your celebration immediately after? And two, what are you going to do with all these balls you're collecting?
I don't drink, so, I didn't want to, I did a couple sprays, and I wanted to, make sure that everybody, I was in there a little bit. And for this basketball, I'll make sure that we'll put that one in the practice gym or somewhere, and have it done up to say the 2019 NBA champions. That one will be displayed somewhere in Toronto.
On your right, third row.
Max from PPS. First, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've been with the Raptors for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
It must be a great feeling today. What do you want to say to the city of Toronto and the fans there?
It's more the city of Toronto, the country of Canada. We did it. We brought it home, and we want everybody to celebrate safely.
Robert?
Robert Littal, BSO. When Kawhi was in here, he told a story about how he texted you shortly after the trade. He said he knew you were upset, but wanted to talk to you. What did that mean to you to hear from him directly about that at that time? And then just kind of a last question: how does it feel as a team and a country to break the Drake curse?
When he texted me, it was a quick text, and just to show the type of person he is, willing to reach out, understanding that the situation was a little bit sensitive, but he knew that, he felt something could be done special with our group. And I don't know nothing about the Drake curse. That's my homie. That's my friend, so I don't know nothing about a curse. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.